Hello and welcome to Listen Up, the NSO pre-show talk. I'm Dale Jarvis, and today we have Grant Etchegary, NSO principal bassoon and our concert soloist. Welcome to the show.
Thank you very much. Great to be here.
So Grant, it's a real treat for people to hear the bassoon as a solo instrument. Tell us a little bit about the pieces you'll be performing in the concert.
Well, the two pieces that I'm performing are concerti, written by Antonio Vivaldi. He's from the Baroque period. He composed over 400 concertos for a variety of instruments, those being the violin, the viola, the cello, as well as some wind instruments, including the bassoon, the flute, and the oboe. And he wrote, like I say, he wrote over 400 of these concertos, 39 of which have been dedicated to the bassoon. And he wrote the majority of these as part of his tenure at an orphanage of all places, and which you know, the school curriculum involved the teaching of music. So they had some extraordinary musicians. They developed extraordinary musicians at this particular orphanage, and it was an orphanage for girls, and so he obviously must have had some magnificent musicians there, because you know, these pieces are technically and musically very challenging, and given the fact that the bassoon was somewhat in its infancy at that time, only having 3 keys compared to the 23 that we have now on the bassoon, it must have been pretty extraordinary experience for those musicians and for the people listening to those particular pieces.
So for you personally, I guess pressure's on as a soloist. How does your pre-concert ritual differ as a soloist from being an orchestral player?
It's very, very different. You know, I've always enjoyed playing in an ensemble. All from the early days of my childhood, playing in the music program at St. Pius X. I always enjoyed the idea of collaboration in music, and all the way up through. So I've always considered myself to be an ensemble player, and that was where the real rush of music playing really came from. You know, being a music teacher for over 30 years, directing an ensemble. It was a completely different experience for me as a soloist, particularly at this stage. I have to say it was a fabulous experience for me, a tremendous learning experience for me to learn this music. And I you know, one of the things that you worry about as a soloist, particularly one who spent most of their life in an ensemble situation, but as a soloist, it's a very different experience, you know. And I was very much worried about how I would feel at that particular moment as I would be performing, and you know, because often what happens is that, you know, you nerves step in, and like I say, it's a completely different experience standing up and playing for a group of people. You know, I can say that my preparation, I think was good, and I think that really helped me an awful lot, you know, throughout it. So it's a very, very different experience, but one that I really thoroughly enjoyed, and working with my colleagues, it's just fabulous. And of course, Mark is tremendous, and audience, you know, very appreciative. I've really just enjoyed the overall experience.
You were talking there about your background as an educator, and I noticed you're wearing your youth orchestra hoodie appropriately today. You've been involved with Rotary. Tell us a little bit about the local scene. Are we seeing lots of young people getting involved, and are there young people taking up wind and brass?
You know, I got to be honest. You know, the pandemic has had a real impact upon music education, to be quite honest with you. And the whole idea of like wind playing has, you know, has made some people somewhat hesitant, you know, to sort of pursue those things. So You know, it's on the rebuild as we emerge out of this crisis. Things are very much looking up, and it's you know, to be part of an opportunity like playing with the Sinfonia. You know, and you know, like I say, I conduct a youth orchestra, and actually two of our members are playing in this particular concert. Because of the breadth of the piece and the instrument requirements, you know, they're getting a real opportunity, you know, to see what advanced music making is like, and you know, after speaking with them, they've thoroughly enjoyed and learned a tremendous amount from this. So. You know, it's taken somewhat of a pause, as with many things over the past year, but I'm really feeling positive about, you know, the movement forward and schools sort of reopening their programs and feeling safe about moving forward with their music.
So if we have any younger listeners tonight, is there any kind of advice that you would give? What's the one piece of advice you would give to a young musician starting out?
Starting out, well, you know, if you're starting out, you know, in music, you know, I can tell you, you know, just personally myself, you know, it's just a wonderful experience to be involved in. You know, I'd like to think that throughout my youth, I was exposed to a wide variety of things. I played high school hockey. I've been involved in. I've loved sports. I'm an avid hiker. Just yesterday, I climbed Grossmorn Mountain, and you know, these are activities that I really enjoy. But I've got to say, you know, having my earphones on as I was actually going through that experience and listening to some, you know, classical music in particular, you know, it's just absolutely fantastic. That being involved in music really adds a tremendous amount to your overall life experiences, and I'm absolutely thrilled that you know, I chose this particular career and have been a teacher and now, you know, performing the music that I just absolutely love. It's just a wonderful thing to be involved in. Ensemble music playing is very much like being part of a team. Everyone is incredibly important, and that is the rush for me. I really enjoy, you know, that collaboration with people, and this opportunity of playing with the Symphonia in front and having my colleagues support me has been just a really tremendous experience and a huge honor for me, because there are some really tremendous musicians, you know, that are in this city. You know, the music making, you know, in our NSO is quite remarkable, and anyone who comes down either as a soloist, you know, or plays within the orchestra is often very much impressed with what is happening here musically. So, you know, the sky's the limit. You know, young people have it's a great opportunity for people to do things that are really meaningful, particularly in this community.
Grand. All right, and if people want more information on the youth orchestra, where can they go? How do they get more info?
Absolutely. You can first of all go to our website, and that is Kalos Music, CALOS, Kalos Music at kalosmusic.ca, and we have a very comprehensive webpage there. All kinds of contact information. You know, we'd love to have people involved with our organization, and it is the you know, the only community youth orchestra organization in Newfoundland, and you know, we really aspire to great things, and we have a lot of fun doing it.
Awesome. Thanks for this, Grant.
Oh, you're very welcome. Thanks, Dale.
All right, take care.
Take care.